Right, Spacewalker, production diary, what the fuck day is this now?
My name's MX Bell and I work on all these things, and I'm here to teach you how to make films in Unreal Engine. Welcome to Realtime Workflows.
I think I'd written the first 10 pages in count of the script. No, 9 pages. I'm now halfway through the script, slightly more than halfway through. And what happened when I was writing the script is that I got to the bit where halfway through it turns to the night pass, and I wanted to do this cool thing with the Canadarm. So basically what's happening is our hero is stuck over here. This is where our ammonia leak is. The Canadarm has given him a lift. If you've seen the other video, the Canadarm gave him a lift to here, and then he has made his way over to this, okay, which doesn't look very long, but it's space, so you know it's a fairly long way, and it's actually about 50 feet or so, right? It's about the length of a Canadarm actually, which is about 50-60 feet. And so he's stuck there when all the bad stuff happens, and he has to get back. And so in the script I wanted to write that the Canadarm, because the Canadarm can inchworm, which means it plants itself here and it kind of does its stuff and moves around. It can actually do this. It plants this side and then it moves this over and does inchworm move, right? Now it takes quite a while. It's quite a slow thing, and I don't want to get too crazy with it. But I think it's super unique and cool, and I've never seen it before, so I wanted to make sure I did do it. So one of the things we're going to have to do is re-rig the Canadarm to do it, because this version of the Canadarm rig was only designed to operate from this point here. But just for a test earlier, I moved it and I've just dropped the whole thing up here. So all this apparatus here needs to go. Basically the inchworm bit would connect to this, and it's kind of like reached over here. And I just think there's something quite animal-like about it. Like there's a dinosaur-y kind of like creature-y type thing about it, and that's what I want to get to. Like you know, and maybe it's far-fetched, I don't know, but I've never seen it in a movie, and therefore I think it's cool to do. And this is, I've calculated, this is roughly what the positions will be like in terms of the solar sails and everything else at that point in the movie when it's just gone dark. All right. Now the problem is that when it's gone dark, it is fucking pitch black, and I've got this awesome sight here that no one's ever seen before. I mean, this is wicked, right? Imagine the shots we can do with this. And then obviously it's going to take him over here like this. Like it's going to end up like that. You know, like it's going to be fucking wicked. But it's pitch fucking black. I'm like, what am I going to do about the pitch being pitch black? And I was like, come on, brain. Moon. Use the moon. So what I've done is I've added a moon. So there he is. I've added the moon. And that's literally, it's an object. It's a tile. It's a photograph of the moon. But I've added a directional light, and so what we can do is we can look back now at the station, and I can set this directional light. It's got a slightly cool tint to it, but we can get this kind of thing now. So I can actually, and then once we've established that there's moonlight, you know, I can start to cheat it a little bit per shot, I think. But basically the moon then operates, if I go to my full 90-minute orbit level subsequences, 90-minute orbit. So this is the full orbit pass. The moon comes up when the sun goes down, so down goes the sun, and over here up comes the moon. And then the moon has got the directional light, so we can see the directional light just moving across it very slightly. It's nothing crazy. It just adds a little bit of light. What I had to do is I had to change I had to take the lighting channel off of the Earth, because it was lighting the Earth up, and I didn't want it to do that. I've also had to change the forward shading priority, because I've had 2 directional lights in now that are fighting for control, so you change the forward shading priority. But I think that's going to be a much better solution now. Now we've got a little bit of moonlight. I mean, it could be argued that's even too much, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll look quite nice, and I can art direct it per shot then. It's a reason to have a little bit of light and not be completely pitch black. Whether that's where the moon would actually be, I don't know. But you know, if anyone knows, I'm all ears. But you know, like the important thing is the storytelling. For the visual storytelling, I need to have a second light source. The moon seems the obvious one. It also changes everything from nice and warm to nice and cool in the second half. You know, you get a nice contrast there like that. And I think that'll be fine. The one thing that's bugging me actually is it's not glowy enough. I think it should be glowy. Let's just change that. So if I go to moon, the color is plugged into the emissive as well as the base. If it's not emissive enough, you can go, you can just right click and go scale a P for scale a parameter, and then go multiply. So go multiply. So we're going to multiply our emissive, plug that into there, and then plug this into here. So right now that's set to 0, so it's multiplied by 0, so it means it's not emissive. If you set this to like 10 and then apply, we'll see that we get a much more emissive. That's probably too much actually, so let's change this back to 5 or something. It's probably better. Yeah, so now when we come back to the station, yeah, so that's kind of cool now. You get a little bit of moonlight, glowy, a little nice cool glowy moon in space, and yeah, everything that's using the moonlight needs to have a have its channel set to. Like I said, I've changed the channel, so we need to go to the Canadarm. I need to go to edit in blueprint, because the Canadarm's not receiving the moonlight, and the reason is that it is channel, lighting channel is not set to 1. There it goes. I'll have to do the same for the foot restraint as well. So do that. So basically, it's nothing's going to show up on this lighting setup by default in the moonlight. I'll have to check things on that need to be checked on. So now if we go to our cool Canadarm test at nighttime, now we can get some pretty cool lighting on it. Now it feels a bit more cinematic. I can art direct the light a little bit on there per shot, and that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, good little idea there. And again, just having this open while I'm writing. You know, I'm writing the sequence where he needs to get from the leak, and the leak is, where's the leak? The leak is here. So the leak is fixed and it's here, and he now needs to get over this side, climb over there, and climb to his right, which is his port side, I believe, and find his way over here and get to this thing so that he can be lifted off and away by the arm, and then that's where things are going to go from bad to worse. So that's always fun. Cool. So that's day 40, and that's what I've been doing, and I better get to work on my other stuff. Thanks for watching. A Spacewalker Diary, day 43. This morning I was looking on the NASA 3D website again. I was trying to find a CETA car, CETA model, because it doesn't exist in here. The CETA car is this kind of thing that rides up and down these rails, same as this thing does, and it has various tools and stuff that the astronauts can use, and they stow them on the CETA cart. But it's not in the model, so and I'm writing it in the script, so I wanted to find one. So I went onto the NASA site, and I found a different ISS model that I've not seen before. And I've looked on it before, so I don't know how I missed it. So anyway, downloaded it as an FPS and chucked it into Maya, and look here, look, this is way more detailed. Way more detailed. I just chucked it into Maya just to sort of see what was going on, because, you know, I don't want to clog up my Unreal project for no reason. But what's also cool is it's separated out sensibly as well. So like, I know what all these things are now, you know, the trusses and all this stuff. They're all separated out logically, so you can actually, if I need to know where something is on the ship, I can come in here and have a look, that's really good. But it's so detailed. For one, it's actually got CETA cards on it, which is great. So that's mission accomplished. But it's also got all the numbers and stuff. And I thought these pertain to handrails, but I mean, I might be wrong. But I mean, look at these. I mean, WIF 14. The WIF is the workplace something. So this is a lot more detailed. So what I thought we'd do is, let's chuck this in Unreal, because when I put the FBX into Maya, it opened up, I added all the textures, and holy shit, look here. They've all got normal maps, diffuse maps, metallic maps. This could look fucking awesome in Unreal. So anyway, let's get the fucking thing into Unreal and see what happens. So again, I've got my import folder, and I've got vehicles, and the ISS is here. So let me just think, where am I going to put this? I'm going to go, I'll make a new folder. Let's call it ISSD. It's got a Star Trekky feel to it, ISSD. Because that's what it's coming through here, it's ISSD. All right, so I'm going to put it in here, and we're just going to bring the FBX in, the same FBX that went into Maya, and drop that in. So for this one, I'm going to go, let's see, combine static meshes. We definitely want to do that. I don't want materials, but I do want textures. Yeah, fuck it, let's have materials as well, just for this test version, and I can figure out the stuff later. So import. So static mesh, here it is. Let's just see what happens, shall we? So levels, we'll put it in here, viz rigged. Yeah, okay. Auto saving. Come on, I want to see it. I want to see it. There it is. All right, so then it's all right. It's fucking tons better. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's much nicer. Look at that. Look at the difference. That's the old one. And then that's the new one. Holy shit. Well, this is a game changer. This has changed everything. What we're doing over here, what's happening on these things. Here are my boxes. Look, these are the things that I'm going to be using. We're going to be taking one of these off. That's where the leak is. Handrails, this is so useful. All the handrails, look at that. That's what's not over here. No handrails on here for me to figure out how to move him. Yeah, all right, we have a winner. We have a winner. There's my seater cart. I mean, it's still not photoreal. Look, here's the thing. It's still not photoreal. So that's there's still going to be an asset purchase at some point. But even for just level of detail, this is a much, much stronger candidate. And incidentally, something else I've learned. Actually, while we're on the subject, something else I've learned. If I go to Earth Sim, my light, this light, I believe. The sunlight, yeah, this one. Apparently, didn't know this, it's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look fucking white. So I'm going to do that. Okay. And then the sun, that thing there, that sphere, star, it's glowing fucking orange, and it should be basically fucking white. It's in space. It has all the colours of the spectrum, but it's the atmosphere that makes it look fucking warm. The things that you fucking learn, man. So we're doing that now. That's better. There you go. I'm still getting things blown out, but I think well, I'll figure that out later. But look at this. It's much better, isn't it? The fucking cables and shit are on it. Oh my word. So what I have to do now is basically iterate this. I'll have to do this twice now. I'll be doing the same thing twice. So iterate in the skeletal mesh in this one to incorporate this geometry, and this is something that I do in Maya. There's always a workaround in Unreal, but for me, I can use Maya to do that. So that will be a job for me, maybe this weekend. I've got plenty to do this weekend, but yeah, look at this. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Look, oh, it's got fucking foot restraint models in it. That's an actual foot restraint. The what? Oh my word, this is fucking mind blowing. Right. I better get off and get some work done. Right, that was the morning of day 43. God knows what happened the rest of the fucking day. Spacewalker Diary Day 44. So after yesterday's discovery of the new updated ISS model, actually I parked that there and I went and I did some writing. So I managed to write about 6 pages of the script yesterday, which is a good day's writing by any estimation. And then this morning I have brought in my new ISS. I haven't done it yet with the Canadarm. That's not here yet. That's still the old version, but this is the new super detailed version of the ISS. And what I did was I have basically rigged it up to the old rig and then just swapped it out, which is exactly how I like to do this. We're iterating on top of what was already there, not having to do anything again. Now, when the final asset comes in, which is going to be in a couple of months, because I want to have the final asset to do some nice renders before a couple of things that I need to do in September for this in terms of fundraising. So there is going to be probably a redo of some stuff. Depends on how the asset comes in and everything else. But I thought this one was super important because it's got all the handrails and everything. They're all bang accurate, as far as I know, as to where they are on the real station. And that's super important when I'm thinking about what Tom's our hero in the film, what Tom's travel is going to look like. And so what I started doing yesterday, I started doing it on the previous asset, but then I thought actually it's even more important that I do it on this one. So this is the 90-minute timeline, as we've seen. So that's with the new asset all upgraded. And then what I did was I started working on a Tom path. So it's the same 90-minute timeline. I'm actually using the same 90-minute orbit as a subsequence. So this is basically the timeline of the movie in 90 minutes. And the sun, rises as it does, as it's going to do, obviously. And we've got the first however long here with Tom in the airlock. That's going to be, I'm not worried about what he's doing in there right now. I'm just trying to figure out his path and how long it takes him to move, because this is a movie that's in real time. So the time it takes him to actually translate across the station is super important. And as I'm writing, I'm making notes on where I've got him on the station. I've even made a spreadsheet. I like making spreadsheets. So this is the page number of the script, and therefore what frame aligns to the end of the page, if that makes sense. So it's 1,440 frames in a minute, so therefore a page of script should be about a minute, so therefore it's 1,440 frames. So I'm writing down on what page of the script things happen, so that I can then come to these frame counts inside here and actually have Tom be at that place and start setting some keyframes and sort of tracking where he goes and what he's doing. So if I just come down here like this, we can see I've only done up to this point so far. So Tom comes out of the airlock, and I've got him hanging there for about a minute or so as stuff happens, and we kind of catch we're looking at the views of the Earth and everything, which is going to be beautiful. And then he starts to move up here and around. So if I just hit play, you'll see roughly the speed that he's moving at, which is, quite slow, but we're looking at very kind of objectively here. Obviously, we'll see his hands grabbing the various things, and we'll be getting really beautiful cameras and camera angles on it all. We can also see as well, you will notice the Earth is moving underneath in real time, at the speed that it does move, and you see obviously as well the shadows moving as the sun moves, again in real time. So everything's happening in real time. Tom climbs up this thing here, this strut, and up to here. And then he's going to make his way over to the seater cart. You remember the seater cart I mentioned yesterday, that the old model didn't have one. In actual fact, the old model does have one. They're bedded in. This is the Canadarm, and so this is a seater cart, and it's bedded into this thing. I'm not sure if that's bang accurate. I've definitely seen pictures of the seater cart where it's not connected to this thing. So I'm just going to play fast and loose. If that's what the reality is, I'm going to play fast and loose. I'm just going to have this seater cart. There's one on the other side as well. I'm going to have this one over here, and Tom's going to have to go and retrieve the articulated portable foot restraint. I pointed those out yesterday on the model, but there's actually one that I made in meshy just from photographs, which is on the end of the Canadarm here, which is what he's going to retrieve that. I've just left it there for now. So he takes the APFR from the seater cart. He's there for about a minute. We'd have to watch all this obviously, because we'll be here forever. And then he comes back, translates back over here. I'm thinking he's just going to be kind of upright, translating along. I don't want to get too crazy too soon, because we're going to have some really nice kind of over and under and rotating around shots later. I don't want to go too crazy with the kind of up and down, or which way is Tom facing stuff. My idea is that there is no up or down. The only thing that's up or down is Tom's position relative to the camera. So Tom can go anywhere he wants, and he can be whichever way up it makes sense for him to be to do his job. But the camera's job is to try and get back to Tom being the right way up in camera view. So if Tom turned upside down like that, the camera will sort of let him do it, but then we want to be kind of turning around to see what he's doing, to see him, to get him back to an upright position in camera view. I'm going to be trying the black eye camera system to do this, because I think it's going to be a bit of a better solution for me. Anyway, Tom comes over here and he gets on the Canadarm. So this is cool. So what I did was I stitched my Canadarm. This is my Canadarm test sequence that I did before. And I made subsequences for the Canadarm at its start position and its end position. And then I'm just letting Tom, he gets onto it. So he's going to spend a minute getting on. It takes a little while. But then the Canadarm will then whisk him away. And that's how when I say whisk, this is going to take 3 minutes. But during this, he's having a conversation with his pal Mark, who lives, he's not live there, but he's in the cupola, which is here. So Mark's going to be in there. Mark's driving the Canadarm from the cupola, which is that thing there. And so what happens is Tom will eventually be brought down by the Canadarm. If I just spin on a little bit. So the Canadarm comes down here like this and brings him down like that and brings him into clear view of his pal in there. So we'll get this kind of camera view where we'll actually be upside down now, looking at the two of them. Earth will be at the top. We'll be able to look at the two of them talking to each other over the comms. He's in the little window, his pal. And then it comes up here like that, and we bring him up to as close to the work site as he can get, really. And then he's going to climb up and onto the truss here, and he needs to make his way to the work site, which is where the leak is, which we can see is here. That's my leak effect, and if we come in here, we can see the little bits of ammonia that's coming out there. And so that's where I've got to. I need to do the rest of his journey, but I'm doing it as I'm writing, so that I know that I've got the broad timings correct and everything. So that's today, and the rest of the day will probably be spent putting these videos together because this is going on YouTube today. So any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you all later. Thank you for watching. What the fuck day is this now? Oh, this can's really throwing me off. I can see it. This is my diary here, so I'll just get down here. So the last day I put this in was basically this, so the 19th and 27th, which is today, is day 40. Okay, so day 40. I was in Cannes, so that was Cannes return journey.